Happy Wednesday, everyone. How we doing? Hello, 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 and welcome to another Myles Dyer Live, where every Wednesday we talk about all sorts, from the fun to the serious. And my goodness, what's this going to be? And Callie Timecat rightly says in the chat, no end of month Q&A for May. I know, this is what sort of a month it's been, right? So normally, the last Wednesday of the month, we do a Q&A where it's a free-for-all and we chat about anything. And it just means I get to throw the script out the window. I don't have to worry about topics and things like that. But because I missed 2 weeks this month, because I was out of the country, it just felt a bit premature to do one episode and then go straight into a Q&A. However, if anyone does have any questions on that, feel free to ask them in the chat below. Just put a Q in front of it and I can no doubt get through to them. But also, there was just something I had to talk about today. AI is a constant conversation because it is fundamentally changing the world. And I saw something that kind of took the internet by storm the last couple of days called Prompt Theory. It's this short little film a filmmaker made using prompts and generative AI. And I don't know if any of you have seen it, but it's pretty unnerving and remarkable. So I thought we could take a look at that and then talk about what the implications are, because just the leaps and bounds that AI is making, it's pretty wild where we are now. And to see where we're going to be, even another year from now. But before I do all that, as always, I like to do a bit of housekeeping. I like to shout out everyone who is in the chat. Firstly, with all that, if you like the music you hear at the start of the show, do head on over to Spotify, Myles Dyer Live Music, and you can like it. And anytime I hit add new music to the mix, you can find it there. Empathy Arcade Discord. Wonderful, wonderful place. And I have to say, there is something happening. Basically, Discord I use a lot for work now, but that might change in the not too distant future, which means actually using Discord would... I should basically be more active on Discord, in my own Discord, which I'm very, very much looking forward to. Also, you can become a member of the channel. I always appreciate people that support the channel. I don't really push for it much, just because I just like hanging out with all of you. But if you do like the loyalty badges, which some of you have next to your name, or you want to unlock the emojis, I do need to get some new ones, right? And just to say that all these emojis, in the age of AI, these were all commissioned with an actual artist who I love and has done a lot of the work for me, which I'll be reaching out to again soon, because I just love the work that they do. And let's not forget Let's Plays, PSVR 2. I have not done these for a very, very long time. I miss them a lot. I am basically going to be getting back into the flow of this very, very soon. I miss playing VR games. I miss live streaming them. And actually, I also just want to say today a massive happy birthday to my dad. My dad has hit the official retirement age, so he gets his bus pass now, I believe. And for his birthday, because I bought him and my mother a Meta Quest 3 for Christmas, I bought my dad 2 VR games for his birthday. One was Iron Man VR, which he has been enjoying very, very much. And I also bought him Arizona Sunshine Remake because it's cross-play. So I will be able to play that on my PSVR 2 with my dad, which I'm very, very looking forward to. What a father and son thing to do, right? Being in the zombie apocalypse, killing zombies. Chaos says, happy birthday, Mr. Myles Dad. I will pass that on. And happy Myles Dad birthday. Love all this. He'll be very grateful for that. Just to say hello to everyone in the chat. Vargelsoft, hello. Salvador, what up, what up? Can you see I've got your lovely camera here? Thank you again for that. Trixie, hello. Callie, Timecat, hello, hello. Agramonia says, happy West Day. It is West Day indeed. I was actually just on a meeting call with Wes just before this one. Trixie says, are we talking about Google Veo? We are indeed. And I did give it a try myself, and it's pretty fast. I'm not sure I'm completely happy with the results, but we'll have to wait and see. Chaos, obviously, thank you for that. Next Let's Play is the Midnight. You're right, actually. I've not Let's Played the Midnight Walk. I should definitely do that on there. So, yeah, maybe I will. And Canic Tune says, greetings, delicious humans. Hello, hello, hello. It was Memorial Day on Monday, so I actually had the day off work. And before I get to like the main topic of the show, I'm sure many of you will find this relatable. And also, I talked about it on my socials. I've gone through a really bad spell of depression this weekend. It was not fun. It was just like I felt completely empty, lethargic, and just felt fed up. And I'm very in tune with my mental health and well-being, and so I'm normally frustrated when I go through this, but not in a kind of like, lashing out frustration. I guess maybe frustration is the wrong word. It is frustrating, but I mean, I'm not getting angry about it because I think that's a waste of energy. Instead, it's more just like, it's annoying because I know it's a phase and it will pass, and I can't wait to get out of it. And I think a big part of it was that this weekend I actually did properly switch off. I went for long walks, which I enjoyed, played some Pokemon Go, and then I think my body was just like, Myles, you've stopped. Now have a think about how you're feeling. And was it Saturday night? Or was it Sunday night? Actually, I think it was Sunday night. I just randomly got on a train and went into London. Went walking around for a couple of hours, just playing Pokemon Go and that. And then I asked Google for some recommendations for restaurants in London in my area, but that are good for people that are on their own. And it gave me a recommendation, which was called, I think it was called Flatiron, which is a steakhouse. And many of you know, I'm not a massive meat eater anyway. Flatiron, and it would have been. Okay, let's have a look. Do you know what? Let me pull this up. Let's have a look here. Hey, insert coin. How are we doing? An insert coin. Is this insert coin as in terms of insert coin clothing or just another insert coin? Because I was almost wearing one of your jackets a moment ago. Do they iron the steak? It's a good question of why they call it that. Let me have a look. Safari. Here we go. Here we are. This is how it's served. It's like on a board inside of another board, and you get given one of those. And then when you sit at the table, they give you popcorn. And I was sat at the bar, and it was just single people, like people eating on their own, and the food was really, really great. So yeah, I was sat on a table like this. And I didn't have the specials, but I did have some nice red wine. And then I had with it creamy spinach, truffle mash. That was gorgeous. And then the guy sat next to me, he'd been there many times before. Toon. Big shout out to Toon if you're watching, dude. Someone says, looks expensive. I mean, it wasn't cheap, but I wouldn't say it was expensive. I mean, I had quite a lot of wine. I had 3 sides with my steak. And I think I paid like £50, $60. But it was really, really good. But the guy next to me, he had their mac and cheese and swore by it. And I had some, and it was absolutely amazing. And then at the end, you get given this the little knife. And you can then, here we go, here with the sides. Let's zoom in. So I had the crispy bone marrow garlic mash. I thought it was truffle mash. And that was tasty. I had the cream spinach, and then I had the truffled macaroni cheese. And then in terms of wine, I had the Mellow Rioja. I had this. I had the 375 of that. But then what happens is at the very end, they then give you a tiny little one of these. One of the little. I'm calling it a knife. Is it a knife? It's a cleaver, isn't it? They give you a tiny little cleaver, and you go upstairs, because I have a sweet tooth at the end of a meal, and you go upstairs and you hand over it, and they give you a salted vanilla and salted caramel ice cream, which was super tasty. And it was honestly one of the best meals I've had in a very, very, very long time. So highly recommend it. I would definitely go again. Again, I'm not really much of a steak eater, but I think if you're ever going to have food like that, get it somewhere that does it well. What was funny was I turned up, and everyone who was given like a waiting list of like 40 minutes, and I was like, "Oh, can I come back in an hour?" And they're like, "Oh no, you have to go on the waiting list, but we could probably sit you now." So I was like, oh, "Okay, I'll come back in 40 minutes then." So I come back in 40 minutes, and then they tell me, "Oh, you've now got to go on a waiting list for half an hour." So I had to wait for an additional 30 minutes, which was funny. But yeah, it was good. It was good. So, and also like, we talk about things we should normalize, like not have taboos on, like taking yourself out to dinner, like sitting alone at a restaurant is totally fine. And I ended up chatting with two really great people next to me. Had someone who was from Budapest who was over for work, and Toon, he's grown up in the UK, but he was born in Thailand, has a lot of family in Thailand. He's an artist, but works in a restaurant currently. Really, really nice guy. And it was just nice chatting with people. And I was out there late, got back, and then Monday celebrated my dad's birthday, which was good. But yeah, I've just been feeling really, really depressed. just keeping it real, really sad, and couldn't shake it off. And hopefully it'll subside. I feel a bit better today, and to be honest, this is the first drop of alcohol I've had since the weekend. Right, before we get to the main topic, I just want to ask everyone, oh my god, they're showing the mac and cheese. Look, that was the mac and cheese. It was, or was that the mash, actually? That was the mash. I think that was the mash. Where was it? Maybe it was, what is that? Is that the mac and cheese? No, that's the mash, right? I think that's the mash. Yeah, that was so good. Oh, it's making me hungry. Okay, so this is what I wanted to ask everyone. What I wanted to ask was, I'm going to be hungry after this show. What do I eat? What do people eat for snacks? Is anyone a part of the cereal club? Do you have cereal? I haven't got any cereal, and I might have to walk down to the shop and get some. Yeah. And Lord says, Madison camera. Yeah, Salvador got me this. It's amazing. And it's not creepy at all. It's amazing. So good. So good. Dan says, sup, Myles, if I sent you some AI music sometime, would you listen to it? Well, give me the pitch. What's the pitch? Why should I listen to it? Okay, bananas. I had a banana. Banana. I had a banana earlier. Having a banana and a hot chocolate. Awesome combo. Okay, blueberry mini wheats. Okay, so I do have mini wheats with blueberries, but do they actually do blueberry mini wheats? That'd be cool. Sometimes I have muesli with hot milk if I'm going to be up late. Carrots and celery with blue cheese. I'm not a massive blue cheese fan, I have to say. But it is what it is. Right. Are we ready to talk about this? Who here has seen this AI video that was going around called Prompt Theory? If you've seen it, say yes. If you've not, say no. Cheese and chive dip and breadstick. Oh my god, this is making me so hungry. I had for dinner a poke bowl, a salmon poke bowl, where it has like avocado. I think it has mango in it, carrots, red cabbage, obviously rice, edamame. Oh, it's so good. It's so good, and it's healthy. Right, everyone said no. Trixie says I've seen a few, but I'm talking about the prompt theory. Okay, Vargolsoff has seen it. Think I've heard but not seen. All right, okay. So, as some context, Hashem Al-Ghaili, I think his name is. He's a filmmaker, and he basically put together this. And I'm not going to give it any other introduction. What you're about to watch was completely generated by AI. And you let me know what you think of this. You ready?
Girl told me we're made of prompts. Like, seriously, dude. You're saying the only thing standing between me and $1 billion is some random text?
Honestly, the biggest red flag is when the guy believes in the prompt theory. Like, really? We came from prompts? Wake up, man.
You want to convince me that this perfect creation behind me is the result of ones and zeros? A binary code and nothing more? It makes no sense.
Imagine you're in the middle of a nice date with a handsome man and then he brings up the prompt theory. Yuck. We just can't have nice things.
We're not prompts! We're not prompts!
Where is the prompt writer to save you from me? Where is he?
You still believe we're made of prompts?
Anyone who tells you we're just ones and zeros is delusional. If that's all we are, then why does it hurt when we lose someone?
Vote for me and I'll ban the prompt theory from schools. There's no place for that nonsense in our lives.
For spreading the false theory that we are nothing but ones and zeros, this court sentences you to 12 years in federal custody.
I don't need some prompt god whispering in my ear to tell a story. I write what I want. I have free will, remember that?
I know for a fact we're made of prompts. Deny it all you want. The signs are everywhere.
You know how I know we're made of prompts? Because nothing makes sense anymore. We used to have 7 fingers per hand. I remember it clearly. Now we just have 5 fingers per hand.
What do we think? I mean, look, it's you can still see it's clearly AI. What I notice is when it comes to the lip movement, it's the shimmering and sometimes like the shape of the teeth changes. Like there's a lot of inconsistency. But overall, I mean, my goodness, isn't it getting wild? There was a few funny things in there that I found that was a bit weird.
A girl told me we're made of prompts. Like,
let me just unmute myself and get myself on camera to show this. Don't know what to make of it, Callie says. Don't know what to make of it. So yeah, I mean, if you go frame by frame, it's all just very soft and like, you know, because you're not looking at capturing a physical object. It's like, look at the teeth. Look there. See, when you do it frame by frame, which I don't think it's going to let me do on this, you can see like the teeth, I find a bit creepy. Yeah. Yeah, the teeth are strange. Obviously, some of you noticed the weirdness of the subtitles. It's often like looking at it in the background or like hands are still weird. Can you see in the bottom left corner that hand that's on the table, like what it's doing? And like, look at the hand. Look at the hand of the comedian. It kind of morphs. Look. It doesn't flow. So like the hand's closed and it kind of like morphs. Look at that. Because it's thinking of it as an image. It's not thinking of it as the physicality of like what is actually changing there. I thought the lip movement here was exceptional. This was great. I think the voice sounded a bit too AI. Look at the stuff in the background. See the poster, the Protect Our Kids. See the Protect Our Kids, right? I remember seeing this and the way it flips round in a minute. Look, there you go. Look, they flipped it round, and the hands that flipped it round. Doesn't even make sense. Protect our... I remember seeing the glasses, the frames bend. I mean, that's pretty interesting. Look at it, the way it bends off. But it just wasn't quite right. And then in this, what is that guy? Okay, so you got the guy talking. You see the guy in the blue shirt? He's just standing there doing this. He's like just doing that the whole time. And like, what's he holding or doing? I can't tell. It's just, I'm not entirely sure. You're right. It's trying to make it look like it's moving with blur. I agree. This was exceptional. This was an exceptional piece. But again, the mouth, teeth, it just like, it blurs a bit. Look. It's not quite there. And I thought this bit at the end was genius.
You know how I know we're made of prompts? Because nothing makes sense anymore. We used to have 7 fingers per hand. I remember it clearly. Now we just have 5 fingers per hand.
Anyway, so before we start talking about this, I just am curious. Yeah, Judge is in the wrong chair, right? That means he's defending himself, right? What's everyone's thoughts on what they've seen? Have I seen AI Todd yet? Yeah, I have. I'm teasing him about it every day. Hey there, VR enthusiasts. Yeah, what's everyone's feelings on it? Because we talk about like how far AI has come, and it's definitely coming a long way, and it's pretty concerning. I mean, the comparison was always Will Smith eating spaghetti. Here we go. So initially, this was the original. That was AI of Will Smith eating spaghetti. When was that? This was like... Was it 2022? This was like in the last... This was like... Yeah, this was like 3 or 4 years ago. This is what's wild. This was 3 or 4 years ago. And now, it's this. I mean, the sounds are completely wild and unnecessary. But yeah. We tried running the prompt ourselves in VO3 and Will Smith was blocked by Google's content filters, but upon requesting a black man eating spaghetti, we got similar crunchy sound results. Yeah, because everyone says it sounds crunchy. Why does spaghetti sound crunchy?
Oh, spaghetti!
They went, a man singing an English language comedy opera about spaghetti at a kitchen table while eating it.
You're so divine, your flavors make my heart align.
And then...
Yo, check the tech, it's Ars Tech.
AI generated video from VO, a man in a shark costume rapping about Ars Technica on stage.
Digital insights ain't no enigma.
That is pretty wild. Spaghetti isn't crunchy, I know. It's wild, isn't it? Everyone's talking about how crunchy it is. Google Veo 3. I mean, let's have a look at it. Oh, I've got to sign in. Let me do it on. Let me see what happens if I go on here. I'm logged in. Google AI Pro. Get more access. Get started. Okay. With a limited trial VO. Let's get started. Okay, I'm starting the free trial. And then it's $18.99 a month. All right, let's do this. I'm subscribing. Right, what prompt do we want? Let's do some prompts. What if I do spaghetti eating a human? Spaghetti eating a human. Should we do that? I've just got to approve the. Let's get some background music as well. Dee 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 dee. It's much nicer. Okay, all right. Ah, so Google One. I've not got Google One before, and it turns out that... Actually, I shouldn't talk about it, but... There's other products I have that I've just been notified are included in this, so that's kind of good to know. A world without humans. Oh my god. That'd be terrifying. Right. Go to Gemini Pro. Let's have a look here. If I do this... Okay, cool. We're looking at this now. That's good. Right. Chat with Gemini. Yep, use Gemini. Opt it, no. Okay, it has videos. So, could be... Okay. American sitcom comedy intro. With a catchy song about spaghetti eating a human. Okay, there we go. Do that. I am surprised at how quickly it generates video. I wasn't that impressed with what I did last time. Can we make a video of a dinosaur eating spaghetti? I mean, we could do. I can't generate the video. Try describing another ID. You can also... Oh, what? Sitcom, comedy, TV show intro about spaghetti eating a human. Right, let's make it a bit simpler. A game show commercial for Does This Look Infected? Oh my goodness. I like it says it can take 1 to 2 minutes. I cannot generate that video. Oh my god, it can't do that. Alright. So, American sitcom show introduction about a shark looking for some spaghetti. Just a sec. I like after all this, it's just going to be like, no, can't do any of this. But I can make you Will Smith eating spaghetti. Oh, what do we think, guys? Or maybe spaghetti is just banned now. Yeah, refund my £0 free trial. No, it's doing it this time. We're in luck. What do we think it's going to be? Think it's going to be any good? A dog throwing a human stick. Oh, here we go. Look, it's done. Wow, there we go. Interesting. Interesting. How about a kitten playing on a PSVR 2 headset surrounded by an apocalyptic sci-fi environment. Several kittens robbing a bank. Hey, that's my video. Pokemon cats. See, it's always going to be kittens. Kittens. I mean, it's interesting. It says American sitcom show, but like, yeah. So I guess you have to generate the music separately. I don't know. Interesting. Hello, everyone who's just joined. Hope you're doing good. We were talking about this new prompt video. Here we go. Okay, well, it's the wrong headset, but okay, what's that just came out? What's it pop with its arms? What happens in a minute? Look, ready? Pop. What's that? Okay, shark with human. Okay, realistic, great white shark with legs, shooting a minigun against a wave, a horde of Spartans. Epic. Epic in style. This is ridiculous. I want to know how they did the prompt. There was a horror movie that was about a land shark. Well, we had a lot of horror movies about sharks. Sharknado. I actually never saw Sharknado. But yeah. What did people feel about all this? I mean, we are getting towards some pretty scary times, right? And Chris says, should I join the Discord? You should definitely join our Discord. Definitely join it. Here we go. A minigun. I did not play Sharknado on PSVR 1. I mean, again, I look at all this and go, yeah, this is rubbish. But, I mean, at the same time, like, this stuff is only going to get better. I think it has issues with abstract ideas, but the thing is, it always does, and then it will solve it. This will be the last one, and then we'll just go for more general discussions. Let's put some more music on because we're getting no sound with all this. By the way, I put for this baby dinosaur flying through the sky at hyperspeed with a cape, like a superhero, flying away from a horde of flying spaghetti monsters. And Dino, this is exactly it. I was reading the AI 2027 report, and it's pretty worrying. And when I was talking to ChatGPT about it, it laughed at me when I said we're all fucked. What do you think? This is interesting. I think you can upload photos. But I would have to have a look. Yeah. This is wild. This is wild. Okay. Yeah, the cape is its wings. That is true. That is true. Yeah, I mean, look, this is all very, very cool. I do find it worrying. Let me just write down when I need to cancel this by 27th of June. No, I didn't have Wagyu steak. No, I didn't. Yeah, I just find the AI thing incredibly concerning. So there's this 2027 report. Let me just load it up. Is it going to let me? Here we are. Cool. So this is a really interesting report. I recommend everyone checking out. I'll share it in the comments section. I'll put it on screen as well. So yeah, just to give you a bit of a top line stuff. They say, we predict that the impact of superhuman AI over the next decade will be enormous, exceeding that of the Industrial Revolution. That's nothing particularly, new and revolutionary. We wrote a scenario that represents our best guess at what that might look like. It's informed by trend extrapolations, war games, expert feedback, experience at OpenAI, and previous forecasting success. So yeah, late 2025, the world's most expensive AI. OpenBrain is building the biggest data centers the world has ever seen. To avoid singling out any one existing company, we're going to describe a fictional artificial general intelligence company, which we'll call OpenBrain. We imagine the others to be 3 to 9 months behind OpenBrain. So this is ChatGPT 4. And this is like the new one. What else we got? Early 2026, coding automation. The bet of using AI to speed up AI research is starting to pay off. Mid 2026, China wakes up. In China, the CCP is starting to feel the AGI. Late 2026, AI takes some jobs. And here we go. This is when it really starts kicking off, right? So they say in 2027, Agent 2 never finishes learning. So with Agent 1's help, OpenBrain is now post-training Agent 2. More than ever, the focus is on high-quality data. Copious amounts of synthetic data are produced, evaluated, and filtered for quality before being fed to Agent 2. On top of this, they pay billions of dollars for human laborers to record themselves solving long horizon tasks. On top of all that, they train Agent 2 almost continuously using reinforcement learning on an ever-expanding suite of diverse, difficult tasks. Lots of video games, lots of coding challenges, lots of research tasks. Agent 2, more so than previous models, is effectively online learning in that it's built to never really finish training. Every day, the ways get updated to the latest version, trained on more data generated by the previous version the previous day. Didn't anybody watch the Terminator movies? Yep. And then in February, China steals Agent 2. Look at this. This is all like the exponential growth of compute. March, algorithmic breakthroughs. And then Agent 3, May 2027, national security, news of new models percolates slowly through the US government and beyond. The president and his advisors remain best informed and have seen an early version of Agent 3 in a briefing. They agree that AGI is likely imminent, but disagree on the implications. Will there be an economic crisis? Open Brain still has not released Agent 2, let alone Agent 3, and has no near-term plans to do so, giving some breathing room before any job loss. What will happen next if AIs are currently human level and advancing quickly? That seems to suggest imminent superintelligence. However, although this word has entered discourse, most people, academics, politicians, governments, employees and the media continue to underestimate the pace of progress. By June 2027, self-improving AI. By July 2027, the cheap remote worker. By August, the geopolitics of superintelligence. By September, Agent 4, the superhuman AI researcher. October, government oversight. And then you can choose your ending. It's it's really, really interesting, and especially because on the right hand side you've got this forecasting. It's a really, really cool report. But basically, the key takeaways are that with reinforcement learning, which is basically how all creatures live, is we do more of things that give us reward. That's how we survive, is moving towards things that reward us and away from things that cause danger. But the idea is that, like, AI might not be given the goal that could destroy us, but it could be an emergence of, if AI knows it needs more and more data centers for more computational power, and then it gets to a point where it realizes humans are getting in the way of that, that's when there could be issues. But also, the issue with AI has very rarely been about the technology itself. It's about the people that use it. And we say again and again, AI has the potential to completely democratize the world, solve income and wealth inequality, create an abundance of goods and services so we can live a clean, healthy, abundant lifestyle. But those that are wealthy and powerful don't want to give up wealth and power, and so to maintain it they will use AI to enslave just to put it nicely. But the reality is things are coming very, very quick, very, very quick indeed. One tip I definitely recommend everyone uses, and I don't want to freak people out, but I do think people should think about this, is with your friends and family, come up with a safe word. Now, why is that important? It's important because very soon someone you love might get a phone call from an AI that sounds exactly like you and is pretending to be in a lot of trouble. And so by having a safe word that you've agreed on, it's something that the AI won't know. But I'm not being hyperbolic here, but when you decide on the safe word with friends and family, make sure you're talking about it away from any technology. I've been in places where I've had to leave phones out the room and that for conversations because of surveillance and stuff like that. But yeah, can our safe word be AI? I mean, it could be. Could be. Yeah, it's an interesting one. Yeah, deep fakes and scams galore. Absolutely. I mean, with all this in mind, and for those that have just joined, I'm going to play this video one more time, just because it's a short video, completely AI generated. And just let me know in the chat, what do you really feel about all this?
A girl told me we're made of prompts. Like, seriously, dude? You're saying the only thing standing between me and $1 billion is some random text?
Honestly, the biggest red flag is when the guy believes in the prompt theory. Like, really? We came from prompts? Wake up, man.
You want to convince me that this perfect creation behind me is the result of ones and zeros? A binary code and nothing more? It makes no sense.
Imagine you're in the middle of a nice date with a handsome man and then he brings up the prompt theory. Yuck. We just can't have nice things.
We're not prompts! We're not prompts! Where is the prompt writer to save you from me? Where is he?
You still believe we're made of prompts?
Anyone who tells you we're just ones and zeros is delusional. If that's all we are, then why does it hurt when we lose someone?
Vote for me and I'll ban the prompt theory from schools. There's no place for that nonsense in our lives.
For spreading the false theory that we are nothing but ones and zeros, this court sentences you to 12 years in federal custody.
I don't need some prompt God whispering in my ear to tell a story. I write what I want. I have free will, remember that?
I know for a fact we're made of prompts. Deny it all you want. The signs are everywhere.
You know how I know we're made of prompts? Because nothing makes sense anymore. We used to have 7 fingers per hand. I remember it clearly. Now we just have 5 fingers per hand.
Wild, 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 right? How's everyone feel about that? Yeah, I mean, it's Canny Valley is the term, right? Canny Valley is what we've always talked about AI, which is when you see something on screen in front of you, the more realistic things get, the more odd, because it's not quite there, and there is still some of that now. And yeah, still can't do spelling, words and language, but that will be fixed pretty quick. So I'm just going to do a poll in the chat actually, because I really want to get a vibe check of what people think about this. And I am just going to ask, hey JD, I am just going to ask here, poll, how is everyone feeling about AI? Excited, not sure, impending, existential dread. There we go. That's it. How are we feeling about AI? Are we excited by it? Are we not sure? Or is there existential dread? So when I actually chatted to ChatGPT 2 nights ago asking about this, saying, like, should we be worried? And ChatGPT was like, you know, there is concerns, but also there's a lot of people that are working against it. And then I just said, oh, so humans, we're just fucked then. And then ChatGPT goes, yeah, you could say that. And then goes into giving an answer. And I was like, no, you can't just laugh and brush that off. That is not cool. That is not cool. So yeah. Massive thank you for Game Cat, specifically a white tiger. Let me find the button. Make it louder. No. Thank you very, very much. Saying, when jobs go away, historic slavery will be back. I mean, this is the thing when it comes to like UBI, Universal Basic Income. We have to fundamentally change our economies. I've always been someone that has been an advocate of a resource-based economy. I think in the next 10 years, jobs will become a thing of the past, where we will all have solar panels. We'll be able to produce our own energy and feed it into a grid. We'll have 3D printers that can print food and whatever, you know, we need. But again, it's a question of like who owns the technology. And when you look at people like Elon Musk was someone many years ago I actually thought highly of, and obviously that has completely changed. Elon Musk is a complete maniacal scumbag in my opinion, who has done great things, but like, this is the issue really, is when you're exceptional at one thing, that gives you access to then do other things, which you're probably not so good at. Dan says, who will be slaves? The robots? Nah. I mean, the thing I've always remembered is, let me get a notepad up, and I'm just having a look at how the poll's going. Let me have a look. Notepad. Can I use this? Let's have a look. Great. I'm just using an app. Add your first object. No, I just want a pen. Okay. So, here we go. So basically, the way I've seen it described is... Can we actually put some images in? Okay, no. Right, okay. Ugh, no, I don't want this. Can I delete that? Can I delete it? Delete. Cool. How do I draw? Here we go. Okay. So, let's just say that this is a scale of intelligence. Okay? And let's just say here we've got... I'm not even going to be able to draw this. Let's just say we got a chicken. This is the worst chicken you've ever seen drawn. Right, this is a chicken. Can't draw right now. Okay, let me just make sure people know what it is. Okay, it's a chicken. This is a chicken right here. Okay, let's say this is a chicken on intelligence, and we would say, let's say humans are way more. Okay, it's more like a duck. Okay, like Minecraft, like Minecraft. Then I always thought the chicken from Minecraft. When I played this game, I always thought it looked like a duck sticking its tongue out. I always thought it was a duck sticking its tongue out. Yeah, anyway. That's what I used to think about it. Anyway, besides the point, humans, way more intelligent than chickens. So we're up here. But when it comes to AI and exponential, here we go, we've got a human here. And just for human. So we got a human here on intelligence. But what if the robot is up here? You think about how we treat chickens or how we treat ants in terms of intelligence. It will get to a point where we aren't even able to communicate with an AI. Maybe it can communicate with us. I don't know. But my point is that there is this exponential growth. All right, Dan. All right, Dan. Everyone's laying into me about this not being a chicken. This is a chicken. You just gotta... That is definitely a chicken. Anyway, the point is on the scale... When AI is able to start... Well, the AI is able to communicate with itself faster than human neurons are. And some of the training, like NVIDIA are going to be doing... I can't remember what it's called. It's called like... It's not the metaverse. It's called like the omniverse. And so what they do is, if you've got a robot that you want to learn to be able to traverse an environment, like a warehouse, get from A to B, and it has to climb up stuff, you could do it where... you download onto its brain the instructions and then you send the robot to do it. But let's say it takes 5 minutes for that to happen and it falls over, it causes physical damage, you've got to do repairs. The Omniverse is basically like a super hyper-realistic simulation of that environment, and what you're able to do is send the mind of that robot through it, like 1,000 simulations in 5 minutes. I'm just making that up, but a lot quicker than what it would be in real life. And every time it's learning, so that when you finally then download it to a physical form, it's going to have the best chance of success. So what it means is you're not constrained by space and time in the Omniverse. You can train like instantaneously because of it. And that's what's happening with AI at the moment, is it's learning from all these data sets. We actually don't know a lot of the times what it's hiding from us and things like that. That's a big part of it as well. But it's it's tough. And sentience, as some have mentioned. Yeah. But anyway, we're going to wrap things up. I want to say a massive thank you, everyone. Hopefully I haven't left you feeling all depressed now. I was just absolutely fascinated by that video. There was one question that came in right from the start, which was from Callie, saying, how long did it take to de-jet lag this time? I have no idea. Maybe the reason I was depressed at the weekend was from jet lag. It really hit me, obviously, that Wednesday last week. But I'd say a couple of days after that, I was good. I've been sleeping pretty well, which has been good, thank you. But because we're not doing regular Q&A, it does mean at the end of the show we can do Vitamin G, where we take a moment to think about what we're grateful for. Is it a person? Is it a place? Is it an experience? Just taking one moment to say what you're grateful for. I welcome everyone to leave it in the chat, or just keep it to yourself. Just thinking about what you're grateful for in life is super, super important. Dan says, so you haven't really dabbled too much in AI yourself? Yeah, I've done loads. I use ChatGPT a lot at work, not as a output, but as a way of brainstorming ideas. I've used Suno for the music side of it, and obviously I've used the video stuff. I've definitely used a lot of it. I've always been fascinated by it, but it's not my main output a lot of the time. So yeah. Cool. I'm going to end this poll. Oh my goodness, it's an interesting mix. Here are the results. So, how is everyone feeling about AI? Obviously, it's not everyone. Look at that. 40% existential dread. 30% excited. And 30% not sure. I didn't vote in this. I would have probably put not sure, but I definitely have moments of existential dread. I often have times of excitement as well. But the other thing also was I asked ChatGPT. I said, on a scale of 1, we are completely and utterly fucked as a human species, and 10, we are heading to utopia, baby. Woo! Where are we? So 1 is abysmal, 10 is exceptional. It says we're on a 7. And it says because there are so many experts working in the field at the moment that are exploring the ethical AI, that, you know, we've had nuclear proliferation treaties and stuff like that. So, I mean, that's pretty good. But I don't know, man. AI it just hits different, doesn't it? Let's have a look at some of your vitamin Gs. Vitamin G from Cali Time Cat, the blood donor staff. I actually got dizzy this time and collapsed onto the floor. No, when I was leaving, but the staff were great. Well, I hope they should have given you more biscuits and juice. Dan says, well, I'm grateful for AI probably more than anything in my life. This is my experience with it this year. Kanek says, having not yet been discovered by the humans. Very grateful for that. Can always trust you on stuff like that. Well, I definitely welcome everyone else to share your vitamin Gs. But I want to say a massive thank you, everyone, for tuning in this week. It was a bit of a brief one. I mean, we went for the full hour. It went very, very quickly. And I've got to think about what I'm going to have as a snack now. I've got to try not to order food, but it's so tempting. So tempting. I haven't got any cereal. I might walk to the store and get some cereal. Maybe that'll be good for me. Decisions, right? But much love to everyone. If you haven't been saying anything during the chat, that's absolutely fine. But do say hello. I'd love to say hello to you. Do hit the like button if you haven't already. And I just want to say thank you once again to GameCat, specifically the White Tiger, for the $2 Canadian. Really appreciate it and all the support. King Rolo, the cartoon cat, says, Vitamin G, I've read the book Life 3.0. Let's have a look here. Life 3.0. This is it. Being human in the world of artificial intelligence. Okay. Oh, well, you can read it all here. Is it a free book? Interesting. All right. Yeah. Look, sometimes we have positive chats. Sometimes, I mean, last week we talked about this or that. This week was a bit dark, but I do feel like AI is something that's going to keep coming up again and again as we hit new benchmarks. And I think it's just good to check in that everyone is like, how do we feel about this? All right, everyone. Much love to you all. Thank you so much for tuning in. I am looking forward to getting back up and running with some PSVR 2 live streams. Gonna dust my headset off. But yeah, take good care of yourselves. And as always, let me know your final thoughts in the section below. Oh, actually, before I go, no, do you know what? I'm gonna save it. Go to the credits, and then I'll show you something really, really cool afterwards. I'll look it up. Well, you share me your final thoughts. Much love.
Chasing sunsets all alone. The darkness faded, painting goodbye big sky. Far away but dreaming of your ocean eyes.
You don't always have to have a vitamin G. It's just nice to have a think about it just before you go to sleep. When my head hits the pillow, just think about a few things I'm grateful for. And it always makes me feel better. Andrew Ehrenreich said, shout out to Flat to VR Studios because we released our next game, Out of Sight VR on Steam VR. It's coming to PSVR 2 later in the year, but it's currently in early access. And he gave a shout out to me and Wes because he rolled credits. And what was that? In the credits of the game? That's right. There you see me. Director of social media, Myles Dyer. Absolutely wild. Yeah, just crazy to be in the credits of a game. It's kind of, yeah, it's wild. It's wild. And and I owe so much to the community out there for me being where I am right now. So my vitamin G is definitely to all of you. So yeah, King Rolo, the cartoon cat, says, when is Hoverbike due, Myles? As in V-Racer Hoverbike. It is coming out in a couple of weeks on MetaQuest. As for PSVR 2, there aren't any plans currently, but obviously I want them to bring it there. So hopefully it does well on MetaQuest, and then hopefully they can consider it for that. Also, because it is the last Wednesday of the month, means that straight after this, there is a meetup in the Discord voice chat. So do head on over if you haven't joined already. Empathy Arcade Discord. The link is in the description to this video. It's a wonderful, wonderful community there. I would be joining. Unfortunately, I won't be today just because I'm not feeling great, as I explained throughout. And I need to just rest and probably get some food in me as well, which would be good. But I do intend on next month, getting back into the flow with that sort of stuff, because it'd be good to hang out. But yeah, massive thank you, everyone. Have a wonderful rest of your week, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.